Hello everyone, this is Modbot. This is a redstone tutorial. This is my automatic witch farm. So the most common one in the community right now, at least the one that I see the most, is JL2579s, and it's extremely similar to this one, at least in the spawning platforms. In both designs there are 3 platforms and they are exactly the same size, so the theoretical yield should be the same for both farms. The only difference being in the redstone, mine is, as you can see, much simpler. It's just one tileable little mechanism here for each set of pistons, and that's on each side. His is as well, however his is much more complicated and is a lot more expensive to build. So if you go ahead up to the top here, you can see that also this bottom should be extended about 35 blocks down. But if I get out of F1 here and take my witch spawn egg, this is going to be a little bit laggy before I actually start it, just so you know. Just because I'm recording, it's not going to probably look right when the floors are shifting. But if we spawn one in there, yeah, you see the floor just completely disappeared. It falls immediately to the second floor. Floors are still shifting. Like I said, it's lagging because of the recording. It's going to kind of fall down, kind of shuffle a little bit. There we go. Takes a little bit of damage, but that is not a big deal. I have yet to see a witch die in the mechanism. And there we go, it falls straight through the bottom. So, apart from the lag, you can see that this farm does work, and these witches do not usually fall out the side, because as soon as they move, they will fall through the floor and should be to their death if you actually dig down. Like I said, I recommend about 35 blocks down from this bottom platform to make sure that they die when they hit the ground. So let's go ahead and start building this. So once you found yourself a witch hut, and this is the exact same seed that I was just using to do that intro part, if you're wondering what the seed is 2020. Without holding shift, it is right like that, and that is on default terrain generation. But you want to start by building the spawning platforms, and it's going to be 1 block above this roof here, this corner stair, and it's going to extend out over the entire thing. So it comes out to here, and then all the way back, and then straight out the front here. And you want to go over this little porch area as well. So it's going to come 1 block out like this, and then across like that. And then you can go ahead and fill that in. Coming down 2 blocks now, so right where this fence is, you can build the exact same platform. So run ahead like this, and it'll be the same size and everything. It'll be right below this little overhang of the roof. So go ahead and do that, and then again fill that one in. And then 2 blocks down again, it'll be 1 block off the bottom if it's in a swamp like this. And then yet again, the same size, or looking right under the blocks above you. This can be half slabs as long as they're not bottom half slabs, they have to be top. Or it can be whole blocks like I'm using, it just cannot be any transparent block because stuff actually has to spawn on there. You can then go ahead and remove the entire little fort thingy, the witch hut, and then fill in each one of these platforms like so. And then you want to give yourself a little bit of room to work with, so I'm just going to come out 2 blocks on each side, so just up like this. And obviously I'm just using glass, but it really does not matter. It's just kind of marking off a perimeter. The redstone will extend past this, but this is just so that it's easier to work with the water around, because water and redstone do not mix well. So if you just go out right like this, and then I'm just going to use sponge to fill up the rest. Let me just finish off this wall here, a few more blocks right like this, and then that, and then fill it up with sponge and get rid of some of the extra water. And of course you don't want to do that. And this is the part that you want to go down about 35 blocks, but I would not recommend doing that until the rest of the farm is done, just in case you fall through the machine. So like I said before, each part is exactly the same as the last, so I'll just go ahead and do it for the one section on the bottom, and then show you where each one goes for the following parts. But you want to come out 3 blocks off the bottom section here, and then place inwards facing pistons, right like this, and that goes all the way across. And then you can take blocks behind them. And then on the other side, you need to go and place blocks straight like this. This is the one difference between the 2 sides, and these pistons will be facing directly on it. If you put this one too far back, it will not be able to push once the other ones have pushed. You'll just have too much space in there and it won't work right. So what you want to do from there is come off the side of the piston, up 3 blocks, and then over 4, right like this, and then come in a block like this, and just keep that there for the next bit. So then you can run redstone along the back of these pistons here, and then carry this block out again, same length as the pistons, and place your tripwire hooks all the way across those. I would not put the string in yet. Again, I would save that to the end just to make it easier while you're working. You don't want to be having that hitbox in your face. And now for the actual timing mechanism to push the floor, you just want to take redstone and run it straight along the back of these tripwire hooks. That'll go up into a block with a torch on its face, and then come down so you've got a block right like this. And then dust will go on that, and a torch will go on each side, and it will turn off right away because this dust is on from that torch. And then put a block on top of each one else. And then you've got a burnout clock right there, so this dust will keep blinking every tick, but these torches will kind of toggle which one is flickering on and off. Then you want to come down a block like this, and then run that into the rest of these blocks here. And then place dust here, and you don't want to have dust here because there's that torch right there. So instead you want to place a 1 tick, or the default delay, on the repeater. And the other side works exactly the same, except now the pistons are straight against the spawning platforms instead of extended out 1 block. So it's just dust across there, and the same as it worked before. And then once that's done, you can go ahead and put in the rest of the string. So I'll just go ahead and test this first side here, and make sure that you don't actually skip any. This can be a real pain to place, so I'd recommend having a texture pack where it either uses like a dark black string or something a lot thicker than this, because this is quite a struggle to see. So now it's linked up, and you'll see that the hook will change positions. It'll be kind of in like a flat state now as opposed to that up state. And if we stand here, you'll see that the floor should start shifting. And again, I'm recording, but you can see I kind of start to fall through. I'm just going to step off because that's not going to work well. Getting a player caught in here will not work quite the same as a mob because of the way the game calculates the player's position versus a mob's position. And you can go ahead and build the top exactly the same as you did the bottom. You've already got that down there, so it should be real easy to see what to do. But I'll just go ahead and do it right here so you can see. I'm just going to follow this block here. That goes all the way across, and that's got dust on top of it. And then all these pistons right here are facing into these blocks, immediately touching. And then this extends out 1 block like this. It's got dust on there. And then it's the same, up 1, 2, 3, and over 2, 3, 4, and then you've got the line of hooks to go right here. And once all the string is in there, you've just got the middle bit to do, which, like I said before, is going to be rotated, so the pistons are going to be on this side as opposed to that side. And again, it works exactly the same. If you just come out a few blocks like this, and then place this here, you're going to have this side straight against the wall here, or the platform rather. And that goes all the way across, and you've got your blocks behind there. And then it'll work the same virtually on the other side, except it's going to be 2 block gap instead of 1. And then it's the same with the blocks across, and then your pistons here. And placing in the string is no different either. This goes all the way through, right like this, and I think I might have placed an extra one. There we go. Out of there, and then straight across. The string does have to be at head level, because if it's at foot level, then every time the floor shifts, the string will actually break. Just because of the way that tripwire works, it needs to have either all whole blocks or solid blocks beneath them, or all transparent blocks, or no block. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish up the last of the string for the second layer, and that is pretty much the farm done, except for one final thing that will greatly improve the rates of the farm. And now that it's done, it's safe to say that JL's design is kind of prettier. This one is not quite as compact, which is what JHL has on me. However, if you're playing in a survival world, this is much more resource friendly and a lot more build efficient. So for the very final part, then what you want to do is on top, that was random string, on top of this final string here, you just want to come out and place a final, kind of like a layer, and this will be to block any sun to get into your build. So, because sun can travel through sides of blocks, or like diagonally like this, you need to come out, to be safe, I would say about 10 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And do that from each side. And then put half slabs on top of them, or glass, or something where it's not going to spawn anything. I wouldn't really recommend torches, but it'll work just fine, just in case you miss a block or two that has 7. That'll reduce the rates kind of, but it shouldn't be the biggest worry for you. You will, of course, get to a part where this redstone is slightly exposed. Do not worry about it though, you can just go ahead and fill blocks around it and then carry the half slabs straight across the top of them. So here is the finished farm, and you can see that if we go inside here and hit F3, stand in the corner so that you can see the highest light level, and that is a 6, and it does not get anywhere below, or above rather. So 6 is the highest it is, which means that witches will spawn everywhere. So my cap up here of 10 blocks is good. And that video that I've been referencing this whole time, the JL2579 witch farm tutorial, that will have its link in the description. That explains the spawning mechanics a lot better of the witches. in their huts, as well as extra stuff like the killing chamber and the item collection and AFKing, as well as lighting up the area. So anyways, this has been MopBot, and I'm out.